राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुनातीरावनचारी जमुनातीरावनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। भगवद गीता उपनिषद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. You will share your screen, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, I can share.
Thank you, Prabhuji. If you want, you can continue with Agnanatam and the prayers, Prabhuji, or based on your.
Yes, George. So today's topic is Bhagavad Gita 7.13. Thank you for giving me the chance to serve this beautiful verse and help me to understand this better and be able to get an opportunity to share with everyone. So I'm very grateful to all the devotees who have joined on the Zoom or in other platforms. Very, very grateful to all of you. Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Koi, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. And especially day before Ekadashi, it's a great opportunity for us to remember Krishna, holy names, to align our body, mind, and soul for the wonderful Pandav Nirjala Ekadashi, which is tomorrow. So we'll read this verse and try to understand this verse from the Bhaktivedanta purports and also from other Vaishnavas so that we can understand, absorb, and apply this verse in our lives. Bhagavad Gita 7.13 Tribhir Ebhi sarvam idam jagat mohitam nabhijanati mamebhya paramavyayam Tribhir sarvam idam jagat mohitam nabhijanati mamebhya param avyayam. We one or two devotees would like to recite this verse.
I can try, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees, and Pranam, all Krishna Shri Prabhupada. Tribhir ebi sarvam idam jagat mohitam nabhijanati mamebhya paramavyayam. Thank you, Prabhuji.
That is it. Tirthave Riddhi sarvamitam jagat mohitam nabhijanati mamebhyah paramavyayam. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. So we'll do the word to word, the transliteration, word to word, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tribhi, three, guna mai, consisting of the gunas. Bhavi, by the states of being. Ebhi, all these. Sarvam, whole. Idam, this. Jagat, universe. Mohitam, deluded. Nabhi janati, does not know. Mam, me. Ebhya, above these. Param, the supreme. Avyayam, inexhaustible. Translation: deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. And we have the purport as well. Anyone would like to read? We have 3 paragraphs.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can read.
Please, thank you.
Hare Krishna. The whole world is enchanted by the three modes of material nature. Those who are bewildered by these three modes cannot understand that transcendental to this material nature is the Supreme Lord Krishna. Every living entity under the influence of material nature has a particular type of body and a particular type of psychological and biological activities accordingly. There are 4 classes of men functioning in the 3 material modes of nature. Those who are purely in the mode of goodness are called Brahmanas. Those who are purely in the mode of passion are called Kshatriyas. Those who are in the mode of both passion and ignorance are called Vaishyas. Those who are completely in ignorance are called Shudras, and those who are less than that are animals are animal life. However, these designations are not permanent. I may be either a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or whatever. In any case, this life is temporary. But although life is temporary and we do not know what we are going to be in the next life, by the spell of this illusory energy, we consider ourselves in terms of this bodily conception of life, and we thus think that we are American, Indian, Russian, or Brahmana, Hindu, Muslim, etc. And if we become entangled with the modes of material nature, then we forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is behind all these modes. So Lord Krishna says that living entities deluded by these 3 modes of nature do not understand that behind the material background is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much for reading this wonderful purport. We have one more paragraph if someone would like to read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can read. There are many different kinds of living entities, human beings, demigods, animal, etc. And each and every one of them is under the influence of material nature. And all of them have forgotten the transcendent personality of Godhead. Those who are in the moods of passion and ignorance, and even those who are in the mood of goodness, cannot go beyond the impersonal Brahman conception of the absolute truth. They are bewildered before the Supreme Personality. They are bewildered before the Supreme Personality Godhead, Supreme Lord in His personal feature, which possesses all beauty, opulence, knowledge, strength, fame, and renunciation. When even those who are in goodness cannot understand what hope is there for those in passion and ignorance. Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all these 3 modes of material nature, and those who are truly established in Krishna consciousness are actually liberated. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, back to you.
Very cool. Thank you so much. There's a lot to digest there. We'll chant the Mangalacharan prayers to invoke auspiciousness and seek blessings from the Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara so that we can absorb this verse nicely in our consciousness and try to apply in our lives. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees. Thank you so much for your wonderful association. I hope you're all doing well, and your families, your children, and your extended families, devotees, friends. I hope and pray that everyone is in good health and Krishna conscious spirits. Sarve bhavanta sukhina, sarve santa niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukha bhag bhaved. Getting a chance to read Bhagavad Gita is no ordinary thing in life. Getting a chance to hear Bhagavad Gita is very, very rare because Bhagavad Gita is the expansion of Lord Krishna himself. Bhagavad Gita Kinchitadhita, one who studies or meditates upon Bhagavad Gita, even one verse, little bit, for a very short time. Ganga Jalava Kanika Pita. He drinks the water of the Ganges or the water of the lotus feet of the Lord, Charanamrit. Even little, Kanika Pita. Sakrid Eva Murari Samarcha. And even does little conversation, little worship of Lord Murari, Krishna, Vishnu. Kriyate tasya na yamina charcha. That person will not have to converse with Yamraj because that person is conversing with Krishna. Because Bhagavad Gita is the song of Krishna. It's spoken directly from the lotus mouth of Krishna. So why will that person have to face Yamaraj? Because that person is face to face Krishna. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hoy Andhakar, Yaha Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Radhikar. If Krishna is present in someone's life, there is no question of Yamaraj, there is no question of Maya, there is no question of darkness because Surya, when sun is there, darkness cannot exist in the life of that person. So today we are reading this wonderful verse 7.13 of the Bhagavad Gita. The seventh chapter is the chapter where the treasure box of Bhagavad Gita, the essence, the six middle chapters open up. And chapter is entitled The Knowledge of the Absolute. And this middle section from 7 to 12, also called as Bhakti Yoga section, which is like the main purpose of Bhagavad Gita. The main purpose of Gita is not to tell Arjuna about, pranayam and about breath work and about different duties and this. The main purpose of Gita is to help us to become a devotee. That is Bhakti Yoga. That is the essence spoken by the Supreme Lord Himself and all the acharyas. To the extent that Srila Prabhupada, no matter what verse you may pick, that you'll come to the conclusion of Bhakti Yoga. This is the brilliance of a great acharya like Srila Prabhupada. So in the last verse, Lord Krishna was speaking that how that there is three modes: sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sattva refers to goodness, rajaguna refers to passion, and tamas refers to ignorance. There are about 100 plus verses in the Bhagavad Gita out of the 700 which directly or indirectly talk about the modes. Very interesting. Because as we read in this verse also today, that everything, share my screen. Tribhir guna mayir bhavir, right? Everything is consisting of these gunas, right? Tribhir, these three gunas, everything is, the whole world is consisting of this. Whether you talk about people, as we have read just now in the purport, like the three primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. And by the combination of these colors in different proportions, millions of colors can be created. Right? Similarly, every being, every situation, every music, every book, every movie, every dance, you name it, everything, every food, every community, every society, every school, etc., is in the combination of these three modes. The combinations could vary. The combinations could vary every day or even different times of the day. Have you ever wondered why are all the bars, casinos very predominant in the night time? Because the mode of tamas is predominant. In the morning, people are jogging or doing some yoga or going to gym or doing some exercise, doing some meditation. Mode of goodness is predominant. In the daytime, everyone is work, everyone is running. The mode of passion is predominant. So every situation, these are like the building blocks. These three modes are like the building blocks. And Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here this is directly from the purport. The Brahmanas are primarily in the mode of goodness. The people who are in the mode of goodness plus passions, they're like Kshatriya, administrator, kings, etc. Those who are in the mode of passion plus ignorance, a combination of those are Vaishyas. This is directly from the purport. And those who are in the mode of ignorance are Shudras, the labor. And those who are below the ignorance, they are basically living a life of like an animal. Now, these are not like some absolute statements. And these are not absolute, like, okay, this person is in this mode forever, right? No, we have a choice. These category of people, these varnas, are dependent on not the color of the skin, not the birth, but the qualities. Chaturvidha bhajanteyam guna karma vibhagasha, based on their actions, based on their propensities, as Prabhupada is mentioning, that under the influence of material nature, every living being has a particular type of body and a particular type of psychological and biological activities accordingly. This is the second line from the purport. And this is also substantiated in one of the beautiful words in the Gita's 13.22. Purusha prakrito stohi bhunkate prakriti jan gunan karanan gunasangasya sad asagyoni janmashu. Anyone wants to read the translation, which is on the screen?
I can read, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil among various species. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So kind of similar messages conveyed here, that they associate the living entity in this material world which we are in. They are enjoying or trying to enjoy in these three modes of nature, sattva, rajas, and tama. And due to that association with that nature, he meets good and evil species. Upper species, lower species, upper planets, lower planets, good action, bad action, reaction. All that is basically a combination of the different modes. Now, what to do? We are so much caught up in this world, this material modes, these gunas. One understanding is like the colors, right? Which we just discussed. Another understanding is like the ropes. This is a famous picture. It's in the cover picture of also, I think, one or two books, or it's in. These are like ropes. The modes are like ropes. Bhagavad 14.5. Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with the nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned. He becomes conditioned to the extent that we are lost, that we don't know that we are caught. And these invisible ropes, right? The puppeteer is handling them. In the puppet show, if you have seen, the puppet is moving. The puppet thinks the puppet is independent, but the puppeteer is running the show. And who is that puppeteer? The Maya, who has these three modes. And above that, which is actually tomorrow's verse, 7:14, that Krishna, and we have discussed in this verse also, and in the previous verse also, that Krishna is beyond those three modes, or Krishna is the one who is the controller of the three modes. The whole world does not know me, who am above the modes. If we go back to the translation, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes. Param, the word used is mohitam na bijanati mamebhya param. Param means he's above. Param means topmost. He's the supreme. He's above these modes. And avyayam, these two words are used to address Krishna. He's inexhaustible. He's not temporary. He's eternally above the three modes, because those three modes are his creation. There are so many verses in the Bhagavad Gita itself. 7.14 is one. 7.12 is also one of them. That Krishna says, I am not under the modes of material nature, for they are contrary under me. In the Brahma Samhita, also Krishna says, right, that this whole world, Chaeva Yasya Bhavanani Vibharti Durga, that this Durga, who is the jailkeeper, is working under my direction. So there are very many verses which tell us that Krishna is transcendental to these modes, or he is not under the grip of these modes. But ordinary people, they may think, oh yeah, he also is like us. Avajananti Mamuda. So we read all this. Now we'll move to the next one. So these bonds are not like prisoners' shackles, because those are like gross. But these are like a puppeteer. We discussed that example. How we are so caught up. So externally, what do the modes do? They provide us options. And internally, modes push us. As Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu was mentioning this, I was hearing a class by him. So what does it mean? Who will elaborate? Anyone? That the material worlds provide options to us externally. Anyone would like to try?
Yes, but Prabhuji, I can try. So that this material world can provide options of good or bad choices. If someone wants to do whatever they want, they have their free will to choose what they want to do.
Yeah. And specifically, the modes provide us options. So the modes, for example, the food. There is food in the mode of goodness, right? As Bhagavad Gita explains, there's food in the mode of passion, and there's food in the mode of ignorance. Same with the, like if someone wants to go for a vacation, there are places which are in different modes. Someone wants to hear music. There are music categories which are in different modes. So material world provides option, and internally the modes pushes. Actually, someone feels like someone going to a yoga class, going to a library, but it is the mode which is pushing us. The modes also create, impels desires. And Chaitanya Charan Prabhu was explaining it's not like a linear, desires are not linear. Desires are triangular. For example, someone sees a nice bicycle. Okay. Someone sees a bicycle. This is a person, A, who sees, wow, such a nice bicycle. Now, depending upon his situation, he or she may be tempted to get that bicycle, right? Consider bicycle, car, whatever, the analogy still works. But sometimes what may happen, the modes are triangular. So what does that mean? When the A sees B, oh, B has this nice bicycle. So instead of going this path, right, he goes this way. If B has this, I need to get it too, right? If my friend is smoking, I will also do. It can work in good ways, it can work in bad ways, right? The association, the power of association is very, very strong. So these triangular desires, and that's what we read in the previous text also, Purusha prakritosto hi bhunkte prakriti jan guna, due to his association with that material nature. So the kind of, if we situate ourselves in the association of people who are into the mode of ignorance, like lazy, like sleeping 12 hours a day. They don't have desire to do anything productive in life. And what will happen? Naturally, we'll become like them. Very simple. And same goes in the positive side also. So basically, the association of whatever modes we situate ourselves in, we will naturally become that without fail. So it is very, very important for us to be in the right mode and be in the company of the people who are in the right mode. Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport that even those people, let's read this from the purport again, that even Prabhupada is mentioning those, there are different kinds of human beings, living entities, human beings, demigods, animals, etc. And everyone, each one of them is under the influence of different material nature, different modes. Why? Because they have forgotten. Why are we under the spell of Maya? Krishna bhuli sei jeev, anadir bahirmukh, ate tare maya de samsara dukh. Because of forgetfulness of the real, supreme, eternal Lord, who is transcendental, who has the capacity to bring us to the transcendental level through the medium of Guru. The pure Guru, the pure Vaishnava, is in that mode. That is Shuddha Sattva. And if we come in their contact, we will also be able to understand Krishna. The example given is like a fire. Fire is, we cannot directly touch the fire. Someone who has the qualities of a fire can touch. So, Guru is like that wooden rod, which on one end is in the fire, and the other end is in the material world, so the jivas can hold that and get close to Krishna or develop that Shuddha Sattva qualities, which is transcendental. Those who are in the mode of goodness cannot go beyond the impersonal conception of the absolute truth. Prabhupada is mentioning. Those who are in goodness. So the goal of life is not to develop goodness. Goodness is very healthy. Goodness is very nice. But goodness connected to Krishna becomes pure goodness, or also called as Shuddha Sattva. Because goodness, what will it lead to? If there is no Krishna consciousness there, like some people, they may get up early, they may be very charitable, they may distribute blankets, they may distribute food, they may do some charity, they may say, oh, well, we are simple people, we don't bother in too many things, we just live our life peacefully and calmly, but there is no Krishna in their life. So that goodness, what will it lead to? It will lead to good actions and it will lead to good reactions, which means birth in higher planets or birth in a wealthy family. And when those actions are reaped by the jiva, then back to square. But that goodness is a very healthy kind of stepping stone to pure goodness. And when we add Krishna in goodness, it becomes pure goodness. So in short, the goal is not to get to goodness, but to develop pure goodness. Because Prabhupada is mentioning here that even they cannot understand the absolute truth. They may also doubt the Supreme Lord. And we'll talk shortly about that also. So, as you were talking about these three modes, what do you see in this picture? Let's take some reflections. I mean, something is obvious, but I want to get some reflections. I want to hear some reflections, if anyone. What do we see in this picture?
Bound by the three modes of material nature.
Okay, bound by the modes, which are represented by the chains. Okay, what
Hare
else?
Krishna, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Damnath Pranam. So, to what I observe, though he's bound, he's happy, or he's acting happy, maybe.
Very
Hare Krishna.
interesting observation. Thank you. I specifically designed this picture that way because isn't that everyone's situation, right? We are all bound in this world and everyone thinks I am happy. And these chains are they're not so gross, right? They're not like the shackles. I mean, just to show them I can't have invisible chains, but just to show them that someone is looking for iron chains, someone is looking for gold chains, someone is looking for silver chains, representing the three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. But if given the choice, which chain would we like to be bound by? Gold, silver, or iron? 1, 2, 3.
None.
Huh?
Gold.
Gold? Ah, Mataji, gold chains.
None.
Let's be honest. The chain भी gold का ही चाहिए हमें. Right. So bondage, like, if you are sitting on a chair, bondage is bondage. Whether it's the gold chain or the pearl chain or diamond chain, who would like to be bound? No. Like, for example, if we say, oh, would you like to stay in a cage, pure gold or pure iron or pure whatever, pearl, pure clay, right? No one wants to be in that cage. But we are actually in that cage of material world, in the jail, Durga. And Durga is a jail keeper who has kept us very nicely bound and has given so many elaborate arrangements to so-called enjoy, to keep us happy. Oh, this city is not working, go to that city. Gold chains there. Oh, this job is not working, go to that job. This partner is not good, go to that partner. This food is not good, give up that. This person is not good, So many options. The jiva keeps jumping from one to the other. thinking I'm going to have a better enjoyment, right? And that's how Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, different species, some in the mode of goodness, some in the mode of passion, some in mode of ignorance, based on the desires, based on the karmas, we get yonis, we get abu, habu, dubu, bhai, constantly moving like bubbles in this material world, trying to enjoy. Enjoy to we never get, because the Krishna has stamped this world, dukhalayam ashashvatam, and the life ends. Unfortunately, life means the lifespan, the duration of the body is over, and the soul keeps taking repeated birth and in the cycle of birth and death. An intelligent person, what will he or she do? Oh, I want freedom. I'm not this body. I'm not this product of material modes. I'm a Gopir Bhartur Pad Kamalayor Das 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 Anudas. I'm the eternal servant of Krishna. By the medium of a pure guru, one's bhakti rekindles. One understands, and one starts to take the journey back home, back to God seriously. That life is not meant to have gold chains or silver chains or bronze chains, or life is meant for a much sacred and higher purpose. But unfortunately, it's very, very hard. It's very hard. One time, Indra, due to some offense he had done, you'll like this picture. These are fresh pictures you may have never seen actually anywhere, because I generated them today only. So Indra was punished to become a pig because of an offense he did. And he was nicely enjoying with his piglets. Oh, nice family. Ha ha, he. Right? Having nice time, gala time. And comes Narad Muni. Narad Muni, your Indraprastha, your kingdom, you need to take care of that. Like, come back. Give up this pigly life. And you have a much higher thing. Come on, why are you like, enjoying stool, right? In gutter? Come on, heaven is much higher. And look at Indra. I'm happy. I don't want to go. Maybe some other day, maybe next life I'll think about it. I'm having a gala time. Oh, look at my lovely piglets. Look at my lovely family. Oh, I'm doing happy. I'm enjoying here, right? The story of Kailash also quite similar. Narad Muni comes to take him. Kailash is busy, first in his youth, then his college, then his adulthood, family, children, grandchildren, then old age. The next birth gets as a dog, next birth gets as a snake. Maya is so strong. So it keeps us tightly bound through this invisible ropes. This illusory material energy is too powerful. It forces us to believe that the life which we are leading in is permanent and more enjoyable than anything else. So what it's doing, Maya means what's not, like giving us false promises. It's totally opposite. Material world is totally opposite of that. It's temporary, is it not? It's temporary. And it's dukhalayam. But what Maya forces us to believe, it's permanent and it's more enjoyable. And it makes us forget our real goal. Param Avyayam. Krishna is permanent. Krishna is topmost. Krishna is supreme. Krishna is the most Ananda, the source of all pleasures, the source of all rasa, the source of all enjoyment. But Maya would say, no, bhakti is dry. Bhakti is not meant for you. Maybe bhakti, maybe after 20 years, 50 years, after 100 years, maybe in the grave you can do bhakti, right? Maya will give us a lot of false promises. That's the nature of Maya. And that's, if we take one step further, that's also called the Mayavad conception. What is Mayavad conception? That Krishna is also bound in these three ropes, like ordinary living beings. Oh, like ordinary living beings like to dance with girls, materialistic people, sense gratification, right? Mm. And Krishna is dancing with the girls. So he's also like one amongst us. What's the big deal? Mm. This is called Mayavad. They are offensive towards Krishna. They cannot understand. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. Avajananti mamura manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all that be. Krishna is not one amongst us. He comes in different forms, and he comes in the human form. He comes and does different leelas, but one should not think, oh, I am also, I have two hands. He has two hands. I like to dance with girls. He likes to dance with. I like to play pranks. He likes to play pranks. I like to steal stuff. He likes to steal butter. We are kind of similar. That's big offense. If someone thinks like that, we can say, okay, maybe then you left Govardhan Hill also. Then we'll talk about the next steps. We can't lift our hand for 7 minutes. Try to keep your hand straight. It'll start paining, right? For 7 minutes, for 7 days, 7 nights. At the age of 7, he lifted the Govardhan Hill, which is at that time was the circumference was in hundreds of kilometers. Even now, it's about 21 kilometers. We can't even walk across in 7 hours. But so one should never think that the Atma and the Paramatma or the Jiva and the Vibhu are the same. It's as like a president goes to the jail, and some people may think, oh, this guy is also one amongst us. We are in jail because we have done some criminal activity, and this president is also in the jail because he has also done some crime. He's the one who controls all this. He's the lawmaker, right? The government is the lawmaker. The other example given is like the clouds. Krishna is like the sun. Temporarily, from the vision of the people are like the jivas, like us. The clouds may cover the sun, but it's not that the sun is lost. It's just that the temporary vision is covered. And as soon as the clouds are cleared by the mercy of the spiritual master, our Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam, the Guru gives the right transcendental vision. He opens our eyes to understand the absolute subject. And then we are able to see the real truth. We are able to see things as it is, Bhagavad Gita as it is, things in their true perspective. And that is called spiritual life. And that is called Bhakti Yoga process. So just to wrap up, we're almost approaching towards the end. Krishna says this three more topics in as I said, about 100 plus verses in the Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 2, text 45, also Krishna is saying that the Vedas deal with this subject of the three modes. Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nishtraigunya Bhavarjuna. Oh Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes. Don't be caught up in either of those, because they're all bounding. They all lead to Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, the repeated cycle of birth and death. So become transcendental, Nishtraigunya Bhavarjuna. Nirdvando Nitya Sattvasto. Be free from all the dualities. Niryoga Shema Atmavan, and be established in the self, free from all the anxieties of gain and safety. And how to do that? Easier said than done, right? That's the topic for the next, session, or next person, next speaker, in 7.14, just to to take shelter of Krishna, to be free from Maya. That's the essence. We can't do it on our own. We can't win over Maya. Maya is very strong. So we need to take pure shelter of Krishna and his bona fide representative, and his bona fide forms like Gita, like Ekadashi Tithi, like chanting the holy names, like taking shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, honoring Krishna Prasadam, having sadhu sangha, serving the mission of the Guru, and in so many other ways, going to holy places, etc., then we will be able to overcome this Maya. Then we'll be able to be free from the three modes. Then we'll be able to understand things as they truly are. Then the clouds will be cleared from our vision, and we'll be able to have the darshan of the Supreme Lord. Like Dhruva had the darshan of the Supreme Lord under the guidance of Guru Narada, when he sincerely chanted and followed the do's and don'ts as given by the spiritual master Sri Narada, and many, many others as well. So, just to wrap up, we talked about the three modes. We talked about how those are like the building blocks, the colors. We also talked about how they are like ropes. We talked about the two types of desires. Most of our are triangular desires. Some could be linear as well, but mostly as dhyato vishayan pumsa, we see something, we want to get something, right? But the association is very, very powerful. Association can uplift us or can degrade us. So we have to choose our association very, very carefully and cautiously. Association of food, association of people, association of music, association, because everything is under the three modes: goodness, passion, ignorance, etc. And then we discuss about Krishna, how he is Abhyayam, how he is Param, like the sun. And we discussed the example of the Prime Minister. We also discussed the story of Indra, that how Maya makes us forget and gives us false promises. There is nothing better than Bhakti Yoga. There is, if anyone is giving us any other promise, it's a false, fake scheme. Because only Krishna is the source of all enjoyment, and only by connecting with Krishna, one will be happy, because he's the source of all happiness. There is no happiness in this world. If anyone promises us, it's just jumping from one chain to the other, one mode to the other, which may give temporarily short-term pleasure, but ultimately it's a source of misery. So, how to overcome? By taking supreme shelter of the Supreme Lord and the spiritual master. And by that, we have hope, desire, and intent to become transcendental to three modes and take full shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Thank you so much for giving this chance. We have some time for some thoughts, questions, reflections. If anyone would like to share, I'd be happy to hear any thoughts, questions, or reflections anyone has. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Very nice class, Prabhuji. I have a question about the Suddha Satya and goodness, mode of goodness and mode of pure goodness. So Prabhuji, you showed that slide showing that Brahmana is under the mode of goodness. So a Vaishnava and Brahmana, the difference is the Brahmana can reach the mode of goodness and Vaishnava can reach the mode of pure goodness. Is that my understanding correct? Or Brahmana can also reach the mode of goodness, pure goodness?
Thank you, Mataji, for your question. See, when we are saying this, like we are typically referring to, the typical stereotype, Brahmana, Kshatriya, etc.
Okay.
So basically, if someone has Brahmanical qualities, for example, Satya, truthfulness, and very cleanliness, shuchi, etc. These are like Brahmanical qualities, patan, studying, etc. But when those qualities are connected with the Supreme Lord, Like in ISKCON, there are so many Brahmanas, whether you call them Brahmanas, you call them Vaishnavas, you call them, but the intent is clear. The idea is clear. Some typical Brahmanas, we may see that they may be called Brahmanas, right? They may be called Brahmanas, but they are smoking bidi. That's not Brahmanical by any means. So we have to understand by their qualities, by their nature, by their proclivities or inclinations. So anyone can go from any, up, down. Like, so temporarily someone may be in pure ignorance, like Mrigari, enjoying the suffering of others. What will you call that person? To half kill, like it's lower than an animal actually, right? Animals also, they kill and enjoy, like a lion will eat the tiger, but Mrigari was having pleasure by half killing. But that same Mrigari became a pure devotee. When Srila Prabhupada came about 60 years back to US, his audience were not very Brahmanical. They were primarily in passion, ignorance, or lower. Most of them. They're not generalizing, but most of them were, as we know, were following a hippie lifestyle, which means, sex, rock and roll, drugs, right? Which is passion and ignorance. But just by the touch of a pure spiritual master and following his instruction, they became pure Vaishnavas. Not only goodness, they became in pure goodness. So pure goodness or Shuddha Sattva is referring to same. Shuddha means pure, Sattva means goodness. Does that answer your question?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So anyone can go up and down, basically, based on the qualities. And then they will. Thank you. Any other thoughts, comments, questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danut Namo. Sorry for my background noise, Prabhuji. It's away outside. I just want to share the realization, one of the realization, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much for explaining the impacts of the three modes and the impacts of the three modes, and also how to get out of the impact of the three, or out of the three modes itself. So one realization that I would like to share is the picture that I was guessing, the person being happy to the robes. So that is something, realizing that we are bound almost three modes itself is a big thing. If I don't realize that I'm in the three modes, like for example, yesterday we were discussing, taking one example, getting up early in the morning. If I realize that I'm in the ignorance, then only I can get up. Like if I'm not in that realization, I'll just sleep like forever. Okay, it's a weekend, I'll sleep for some more time because I feel so. Compared to realizing that I'm right now I'm in ignorance, I have to get up to come back to suffer so that I can chant from. So that realization is a big thing. So I felt like how this picture is connecting to that realization. So I just want to
Hare Krishna, thank you.
It's correct. Hare Krishna.
I was trying to connect all the words because it was a little bit hard to comprehend. I'm not sure if it was just me or others were also having difficulty in hearing. But I think the essence you were trying to communicate was that knowing that we are bound is the first step. And that's absolutely correct. Because until enemy or until we know that we are bound, we'll not even seek for solution, right? For example, someone doesn't know or realize that they have anger issues, then they cannot never overcome anger, right? Someone feels, oh, I don't have pride, then good luck overcoming pride. Because The first step to defeat an enemy is to identify it, right? These are vices. So thank you for sharing that. That yes, and that's where many devotees say, first be conscious, then Krishna conscious. So yes, we have to be conscious. We have to observe which mode am I present in, what kind of food am I consuming, what kind of people am I interacting with, what kind of places am I going, etc. And material nature and outsiders are quite smart. Like, for example, you go to a mall, there is like heavy lighting, heavy music, which induces passion, and that impels us to buy things, right? Interesting. Any other thoughts? Thank you, Mataji, for sharing that. Any other reflections?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Then, yes, thank you so much for sharing wonderful presentation, Prabhuji. How, modes of nature, even though we think we are happy because, we are in the jail, we don't know that we are in the jail because this is such a big jail that we think everybody is in the jail and we are happy. But actually, we are suffering. Only if we take the shelter of Lord Krishna, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, then we'll be relieved from this Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yeah, then-
Thank you, Eugene. It's a thoughtful comment. This jail is an open door jail, which very few want to get out. That's the intelligence of Maya. The door is open, but no one wants to get out. The doors of ISKCON temples are open, but very few people want to get in, which is the door to exit to the material world. Which Narottam Das Thakur says, Parichi Bhavasagar, Parichi Tufane Nahika Nistara, Shri Charana Taranidani Dase Kuropara. I'm caught up in this world of hurricane, this material world, and moving up and down. There's no exit, right? When you go to a building, a public place like a Publix or a mall or library, you'll see exit, exit. It's required by law to put that sign. But we are here in this material world. Where is the exit? How do I exit and go back to real home? No one asked this question. The Shastras are giving the answer. But very few want to take it. Everyone is so happy in this so-called material, in this so-called world of illusion and happiness, right? The Maya puts us all in such a deep illusion that we think we're enjoying, but we are constantly under the threefold miseries. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very nice talk. We are caught up in these three modes of nature. For the transcendental world, it's like we are like a frog in a well. It's an unknown to us, and we got to have full faith in the shastras and what all the gurus and everyone are telling us. That there is this transcendental world there which will give us more happiness and will give us everlasting happiness. So I think that bridge, to cross that bridge, it's a very difficult for a lot of people, I think, even for me. Just my thought here.
Very thoughtful comment, and I think it's kind of a question also, right? Can I add some?
In a way, yeah.
Can I share some thoughts here? Which many people bring up this question. Hey, you're talking about after death. You're talking about future. What about present? So, bhakti is not just a futuristic thing. Krishna is not promising things in the Gita afterwards. Yes, afterwards, certainly a great destination is waiting, but it is mentioned. Iha yasya harirdasya karmana manasagira nikhilasu api avasthastu jivan muktya sauchyate. That person becomes jivan mukta even in this lifetime, right? That person who is practicing Krishna consciousness will become free from all the dualities even in this lifetime. The troubles will not torment that person even in this lifetime. He will become Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Shochati Na Kanchati even in this lifetime. Like Dhruva, like King Prithu, like the great devotees, like Srila Prabhupada. A pure devotee, being a pure devotee does not mean, okay, after you finish this tenure, then you become pure and then, you keep practicing bhakti and then the transition will happen after this body ends and then you go to a kingdom of all happiness. Even in this lifetime, one can experience this bhakti, the joy, the transcendental life in this lifetime. The more seriously one practices, the more joyful one will be. Rajvidya Rajguyam Pavitramidamuttamam Pratyakshavagam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. This process is very clear, it's perceptible. Like, for example, if I tell you, oh, if you have this meal, the nice roti, sabji, dal, chawal, and rasgulla and pakoda, and all very nice. I can keep talking about it for 10 more minutes and 100 more delicacies. But then when you honor it yourself, you feel it. I don't have to give any more explanation. Similarly, when one practices bhakti yoga, it's not that a future better home is promised. That's absolutely there. But even in this lifetime, he or she is able to see the hand of God in every aspect. He or she becomes much more mature to face this world, to face the dualities of this world. He or she becomes very happy in any situation. And that's what Krishna is. Isn't it that's what we are really looking for? So it's not just a futuristic thing. It's in this lifetime also one will be feeling that joy of bhakti. Prabhupada said, we have come to give the topmost joy. I have come to give the topmost joy. Rather than finding joy like the pig in the stool, which Indra was, Narad Muni said, come back to senses, Baba. This is not your thing. People are trying to find joy where? In alcohol, in drugs, in sex, in casinos. There's no joy there. Bhakti says, oh, try to find joy in chanting and dancing. It's so joyful. And it's not degrading, it's uplifting. Prabhupada, he came. People, thousands and thousands of people connected to him because of his purity. And they were fed up with the so-called material enjoyment, which does not give real joy. It degrades us. But bhakti uplifts us and gives us the real joy which the soul is looking for in this lifetime. In this lifetime. Someone asked Prabhupada, you have opened these temples, these centers, Gita, etc. And you are saying do this, do that, and then you'll go back home, back to Godhead, and life will be blissful, etc., etc. What if there is no God? What if there is no back home, back to Godhead? Then your whole thing is kind of flopped. Prabhupada replied, our day begins with chanting and dancing and nice feasting, right? Bhagavad Katha. We nourish our intelligence by reading the scriptures, not watching fancy time pass movies which degrade us, which are full of lust, lust, envy, ego, etc. We are nourishing our health. We're taking good care of our health, our mental health through the Shastra, our body, through prasadam, through uplifting, which is not nourishing for the body, but also for the soul. We are doing good in the society by distributing these prasadam, by distributing Vedic literatures, Bhagavad Gita. We're building a home where the whole world can live peacefully. We are the messengers of peace and happiness. So we are enjoying now. Now, you tell me, even if God's not there, we are enjoying. But what if God's there? What kind of hells are waiting for you because you are leading a totally anti-God life, an animalistic life, which is not the goal of human life? What is waiting for you? Hare Krishna, here no answer.
Thank
So,
you, Prabhuji. Very, very good. Very nice answer.
Hare Krishna. So yes, we need this faith. We need this reinforcement that bhakti is is the only solution now and always, for this life, in the present, and for next life. Eternal. It's an eternal solution. Someone promises a solution. Oh, do this job, you may get $1 million. How much will it help? Right? Next moment, it could be gone. Haribol. I think over time, so Subal Prabhu, let me know when to pause. What's you're the in charge. When if you're over time, we can end now or.
No, Prabhuji, based on your availability. Thank you so much for all your wonderful seva, Prabhuji. Yeah. Devotees, anybody has anything else before we wrap up? Okay, let's all say 3 times loudly Hari Bol to him, Grace Shubhalas Prabhuji. Hari Bol.
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Thank you
Hari
so
Bol.
much.
Prabhu ki jai. Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavad Gita Upanishad ki jai, Samved Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Then Pranam.
Dhanvat Pranam Prabhuji. Dhanvat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.